Alright, hey guys, Yugioh Dueling Corner here with co-exclusive coverage with
Boyajian.
And for anybody that doesn't know that's new to Yu-Gi-Oh, what's your name?
Robert Boyajin.
Yeah, so he's a previous YCS topper. He topped 16 at YCS Sydney in Australia. And do you want to get into your deck profile?
Yeah. Okay, so I played Heretics Dragon Ruler. Patrick Hoban designed the deck initially, and then we worked on it. And I'm pretty sure my list ended up being pretty different from his, but I'm giving him credit right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I play 9 Heretics, 3 Tefnuit, 3 Sue, and 3 Asset. Nepthit doesn't really do anything because it's not a 6, so you can't make a tomb with it. And it's only good when you already have a Hieratic and Sue, so you tribute it for Sue's effect to destroy something else, so I ended up not playing it. And the ideal combo is just 2 Hieratics and a Dragon Ruler. I play just those, no Redox, I'll talk about why later. But 2 Hieratics and a Dragon Ruler gives you Adam Dracosac. That's really good. And 3 Hieratics is just still an OTK. So yeah, this like the core monsters. And then for the normal monsters, I play those 3. Initially, there was just these 2. And then I started drawing him a lot, and then I realized if I play a second vanilla, I can special Tefnuit and tribute summon the second vanilla to get the other one. So that ends up being really worth it. And you can do extended combos with Sue and Atum with it, where you go like where you bring out these 2 with a Sue after you have 3 Hieratics, and then you overlay these 2 for a Atum, get another Sue, tribute the old Sue, and then you keep going like that. So it ended up being really good. And playing 2 is better against Chain Disappearance in case they Chain Disappearance one. And then I play this guy over Watt-Tail just because he's a win, so if I ever draw in Tempest, it's a little better, but it's probably insignificant in the end. I also play 1 Debris Dragon. You can get back this guy, which is cool, because that means whenever you have Tefnuit, you can go Tefnuit, and then summon him to get back this, and then you can make a Atom to detach to get a 6, and then you can make Trident Dragon with that. That's neat. For the spells, I play 3 Upstart Goblin. It's a combo deck. You want to get to your cards faster, and most of your combos can do over like 9,000 or more. The 3 Hieratic one can do 56, 82, but it doesn't really matter because you want to get to your monsters because you only play so many Hieratic cards that you want to get to them as fast as possible. I also play 3 Dragon Shrine. I mentioned earlier how I only play 3 rulers. Whenever you draw 3 or more rulers, it gets bad, or like 2 shrines, 1 ruler, whatever, because you're counting these as rulers because that's all they really become otherwise. And so you want to cut down on rulers because those are the hands that clog. And I felt like Redox was the least important because you end up banishing this for a Flambeau Guard or banishing this for Debris Dragon. You still want 1 beater, so tiles seem better. And then I like Dragon Shrine over the Redox because you send the vanillas you don't want to draw, these 2 guys. So it makes it so your draws are smoother, and it gives you access to the same combo I was talking about earlier, like 2 Hieratics and Dragon Shrine is also the Atom Dracosac. And then 3 of the Convocation, it's broken. I played 2 Typhoon. I was trying to figure out what I wanted for like my last like 5 or 6 cards. Originally I had Wing Beat, but I didn't like it because when I went first I wanted to be able to like set another card that actually impacted against Tenki. You can also do things where you go like a Hieratic over a Hieratic to get Flambeau Guard and make a Black Rose Dragon, and having this for Fiendish Chain is also super good. And just overall I wanted flexibility Typhoon rather than like drawing a Wing Beat late and only having Asset, and then I can't normal summon an Asset, Wing Beat them away, and then not be able to do anything. So Typhoon was strong. I played Book of Moon. Book of Moon is really important because you want them to have a monster in play because of Tefnuit, so you can special summon. So removal, that cards that stop their guys but don't get rid of them but still save you life points are important. So Book of Moon's good. And then Monster Gate is absolutely awesome. It's another combo card where you can go normal summon an asset, sack this, and then basically whatever monster you get, you can go off and not go off, but you can do stuff. So it's another combo piece where it acts like a Hieratic almost. And then for the trap cards, 3 Seal the Ash, or From the Ashes. This is the main reason that the deck works because now a Dragon Ruler can just banish Hieratics and then you keep bullishing them and burrowing them back. So every single turn this is face up, you get an extra Dragon Ruler summon because you foolish once during their turn and you burial once during yours, so that's 2 dragons to banish to summon your ruler. So it basically gives you the like end game where you go turn 1, make your Dracosac Atom, even if they get over it, and Ashes mean you have the dragons online for the rest of the game. And then it also has the added bonus where if it dies, you can special back a Hieratic, so you can do OTKs with Trident Dragon popping this, or Scrap Dragon popping this, or even if you draw an MST and you need a Hieratic, like you can just Typhoon this to get back a Hieratic if you're that desperate. So it's actually pretty neat. And it makes it so your opponent can't blind Space Typhoon you, because you can just chain it full shot Hieratic and then special back. So that's good. Another card that I played that was different than Patrick, at least for a while, was Triple Call the Haunted. I was having some problems with the deck where I would draw hands of like Ashes and a couple other cards and it wouldn't really be able to do anything. But any hand with Ashes or Shrine and Call the Haunted basically just turns this into a Hieratic because you Foolish Sue and get back Sue and then be able to go off. So it's pretty good, and it saves you damage because you can just get back like a Dragon Ruler or something big if you need to, or it just gives you another monster. I really liked Call the Haunted, and I think that's what just kind of sold me on the deck today. I play Triple Fiendish Chain. It's the same thing as Book of Moon where it stops what they're trying to do, it keeps the monster in play, and it saves you damage. So it's most definitely worth playing, and it's premium effect negation, so it's definitely worth it. And then my last two cards were Warning Torrential. I considered playing Effect Veiler over those, but having cards that actually get rid of their monsters is important too, because you're not going to always be winning, and Warning is just obviously busted, and Torrential is just something where if your hand's slow, they play into you and you just get to Torrential and then you buy yourself a bunch of turns. And then the extra deck. For Synchros, I play one Black Rose Dragon because of the thing you can go Hieratic and then Sue over it, get Flambeau Guard, or Tefnoid over Tefnoid. And then for the 8s, I play these 3, Stars Dragon, Scrap Dragon, Crimson Blader. I originally had Colossal Fighter, but I had to cut it, and I needed it a couple times just because of Crazy Box Skill Drain, where they do that and you have a little difficulty getting over it, but I don't think you really need it. Stars Dragon is good because you, like, sometimes on your turn 1 combo, instead of making Draco Sack at him, you can make Stars Dragon at him and set a bunch of back row, and that's really good. Scrap Dragon helps you with your combos, and it's a 28. And Crimson Blade is super relevant in the mirror against Yugioh, random decks like that. It makes Lin miss timing, all that great stuff. I played Trident Dragon for Debris Dragon. It's good. I tried Dragon a couple times, but it wasn't like spectacular, but it's most definitely worth playing. And then Star Eater for Debris Dragon again. You want something big in case things go wrong and then you have a problem monster, you have Drain up and you're having difficulty gaining over stuff because you can't always just throw Draco Sacks at stuff under Drain, so having Star Eater is pretty important. And then for the Exceeds, I played 2 Attuned. I never wanted the third one, and I'm glad I only played 2. M7 is really good. You can get rid of your opponent's cards in play, but you can also like bounce back your Hieratics. So you can do like combo plays where you go like, you have floating 6s and a tomb gets a guy, and then you make an M7, detach, get back a Sue, sack over the guy you got with the tomb to get another guy, and then you make another 6. So that's neat. I played Gauntlet Launcher because when your opponent maxes you and they're playing a deck that can make Crimson Blader, you want something that can survive Blader and not die and doesn't give them too many cards. So that was the main reason we played Gauntlet Launcher. Patrick thought about that, I didn't. So. And it's cool because you can like destroy 2 monsters and Gaia Charger over it, but that's a little more obvious. The card I cut for Colossal Fighter was Photon Strike Bouncer, and I made him a bunch. It's really good. Just because the same thing, effect negation is super important right now against Fire Fist, against everything. So having just an actual monster that you can go into after a combo where your opponent has to have 2 things to deal with you was great. I only played 1 Gaia Charger. I never wanted a second one, even though sometimes you make 2 Attumes, Draco Sack, whatever. Like you want to keep your Attumes alive anyways. And you can always tribute Attune off for Sue so you still get value out of it, and I think 1 Gaia Charger is more than fine because it lets you do your OTK combo with 3 Hieratics. I played 1 Big Eye for the Dragon Rulers and then 2 Draco Sacks. The extra deck was the one thing where I wouldn't change at all, so keep that in mind.
So on day 1, do you remember your matches at all?
Yeah, round 1 I played against Archfiends. I didn't know what any of those cards did, but it apparently didn't matter. After that, I played against a bunch of Fire Fist decks. I played against 1 Dark World, which was actually a really hard matchup. And I can't remember anything else. Do you remember anything else I played against that wasn't Fire Fist? I feel like I just played against a ton of Fire Fist. Oh, I played against Windups. I got Magician Shark Factoried. That was awesome. Yeah, double Typhoon on my back row, Magician Shark Factory. And then set a Compulse. That was sweet. And then Yeah, I think it was mostly Fire Fist. I actually don't remember playing anything that wasn't Fire Fist except for those 3 decks: the Wind Up deck, the
Dark World,
and the Archfiend deck. And then in Top Cut, I lost to Prophecy. Justice of Prophecy is really good against this deck because it makes it so they can do stuff and you can't tough do it. Yeah. Something to keep. Okay, so for side deck, I sided 2 Drain. Originally they were in the main deck, but I like Fiendish Chain more because it lets your guy. It saves you damage because it chains down their guy, and you can go off the following turn with Heretics, whereas with Skill Drain you're limited on stuff to do. So that's important. I sided 2 Overwork. I might go up to 3. It's mostly just to buy you time, and then in Top Cut, Top 32, I played against Zectors, so that was cool that I got another card to put against them, and I guess you can put it in against Harpies because it seems decent, but it's cool that you can put it against so many different decks, and it's also insane against Fire. So yeah, I decided the 3rd Typhoon. Going second, I would usually decide the 3rd Typhoon, double Wing Beat. Wing Beat was not very good for me this weekend, even though in testing, it was just oh, I would win because of a Wing Beat, but I cut it from my main deck because I wanted the flexibility of Typhoon, and even though I was winning games from Wing Beat, it wasn't like I was going to lose that game all the time anyway. But I never really drew it where it was a complete blowout in the actual YCS, so I'm sure I would side it again just because of how powerful it is, but I wasn't too excited about it at any point. And it's cool that you can call the Haunted guy back in Wing Beat too, so that's nice. And then the rest of my sided sponsors. I sided 2 Fossil Dyna because I thought I would play against some mirror matches, and I didn't. And he's really good in the mirror. The Quake Mirror Drago might be better because you can get it off a tomb, but I think because he can stop the rulers, he might just be better, and I'd probably side him again because it seems like the deck's going to be popular. I sided 2 Maxi, same reason for the mirror, and for Infernity, decks that just do really unfair things. Same thing with Effect Veiler. I don't really put this in against Fire Fist unless it's 3-axis and I'm going second, because I don't think it's very good against 4. And it's mostly for the mirror, unfair decks, Inzector, Infernity, things like that. And then the last 2 cards were Electric Virus. I sided this just for Evil Swarm because you can take their Ophion and tribute a Hieratic over it and then go off like that. So that's really cool. And you don't actually need Terminus for it to work. And then in the mirror match, it gives you another thing where you can max C, and they think they're safe stopping, Electric Virus is just another thing that kind of gets them.
So you went undefeated until the last match. Do you want to talk about that at all, or no?
Talk about the tournament as a whole, or just the last match?
The last match.
Okay, I played against Prophecy. Game 1, I actually thought I was going to lose. He opened Crescents, Blue Guy, all that. But then I was able to grind through and just OTK him. Game 2, he opened Crescent's Blue Guy again, but my hand was a lot slower, and I just eventually died. He faded away my rulers. And then Game 3, my opening hand was actually really strong, where it was a Skill Drain and 3 Hieratics, but it wasn't the specific Hieratics where I could make an Atom at a level 8. So I made a Tomb, got a Blaster, set Drain and something else. And then he went turn 1 Justice, and I drained. And then the next turn I tributed my Blaster for Tefnuit, because I drained it so it'd stay there so I could summon Tefnuit, and brought back Blaster, put him super low. And the next turn I drew and set a card. And then I drew a Sue, and I wanted to try to kill him because I already had rulers, so I specialed Sue, got a guy, and he tarantulled me. So I brought back Blaster, put him to 300, and then he just stayed at 300 for the rest of the game.
Aww. Because
he drew a 3rd book for Priestess, and then I lost like that. But it was good. He's good, and I think he's still playing. So.
Was there any shoutouts you wanted to do?
Oh yeah, Core TCG.
Core TCG.
Usual, yeah. CoreTCG.com, blog.coretcg.com. I write 2 articles a week for them, so you guys should read them.
Anybody else?
Patrick Hoban for initially making the deck. Good job, Patrick. And I'm not sure if that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. Those are the only people that I really want to deck. Shout out to Australia. You guys are great. Yeah, that's about it.
Like always, comment, rate, subscribe, and have a good day.